The Phillies take on the Mets, 7:10 p.m. Eastern start time in Flushing, Queens. The Mets are minus a buck and a quarter, totals 10 runs. The Phillies are plus $1.05 for an outright win. We got Jake Arrieta on the mound for the Phillies, Rick Porcello for the Mets. We're 4-0 in our last four NBA tier package plays on patreon.com/Brock Page. The NBA tier is a specific membership that is offered on that site, as we are currently 9-1 in our last 10 picks in that particular tier membership as well. We're also 5-0 in our last 5 extra daily pick tier package plays on that site as well, and that membership costs just $2.99. For more information on how you can access these exclusive premium sports picks, link for that site is in the description section below, and once again, that's patreon.com/Brock Page. Now, the Phillies have won their last 4 straight, and of course, that was a 4-game sweep of the Nationals, where they actually shut out Washington twice during that span. The Phillies also won 9 out of their last 10, red hot right now, and they rank in the top 3 in the league in scoring on average per game. Didi Gregorius quietly leads the club in hits and batting average. He's hitting .280 with a dozen extra base hits. Rhys Hoskins leads the club in OBP. He's been walked 26 times and has an on-base percentage of .432. JT Realmuto currently leads the club in homers and RBI as well. 9 home runs, 26 ribbies for the Phillies catcher. The Phillies are in the top 10 in hits, top 10 in striking batters out. The Phillies have also won their last 5 straight against the Mets. And speaking of New York, Rick Porcello's taking the mound for the Mets tonight. Just 1-4 on the season, 6.00 ERA, and a 1.58 whip. The Mets have lost 6 out of their last 7 games where Porcello makes the start. The Mets also won just 7 of 17 at Citi Field, and they rank in the bottom 10 in home scoring. The Mets have lost 5 out of their last 7 contests and dropped 6 out of their last 9 when favored. They rank in the top 10 in most walks allowed at home, top 10 in most runs allowed at home as well. Now, total-wise, 5 out of New York's last 6 ball games got over the posted number. They're also 5-1 to the over in their last 6 games hosting the Phillies. 3 out of Arrieta's last 4 starts for Philadelphia also got over the number. Give me the Underdog Phillies plus 105 in the over 10 runs in that contest. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Friday's MLB baseball action. Happy Friday to you. The weekend is finally here, and I'm sure it is a well-deserved weekend for you. Now, before we dive into some more free content here on YouTube, I just have to quickly remind you once again that we are 4-0 in our last 4 NBA tier membership plays on patreon.com/Brock Page. 9-1 straight up in our last 10 plays in that very same package. We're also hitting at 5-0 in our last 5 extra daily pick tier membership plays on that site as well. And that membership costs just $2.99. Exceptional value there. For more information on how you can join in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/Brock Page. And moving on, we're going to go to the middle of the country here. I'm talking about the White Sox taking on the Kansas City Royals, 8:05 p.m. East at Kauffman Stadium. The Sox are minus 170, totals 9 runs. KC's plus $1.45 for some money line cash. Brady Singer for the Royals, Dane Dunning for Chicago. Dunning has struck out 14 in just over 9 innings of work this season. He's officially got a .289 ERA and a .75 whip. The White Sox have gone 14-4 straight up in their last 18, good for 78% during that stretch. Chicago ranks in the top 3 in the league in hits on average per game, top 10 in striking batters out. Jose Abreu leads the team in hits, homers, and RBI. Jose's hit a dozen homers and knocked in 36. He's currently the league leader in runs batted in. Tim Anderson's also batting .347 with 16 extra base hits and an on-base percentage 11 points shy of .400. The White Sox are winning 74% of their games when favored, 72% on the run line away from home this season. They're taking on a Kansas City club who's won just 7 of 17 at Kauffman Stadium this year. They're currently 10 games below 500 and find themselves in the cellar in the AL Central, 9.5 games back of Cleveland in the division. The Royals are in the bottom 3 in scoring on average per game, top 3 in most hits allowed per game at home. Brady Singer is just 1-3 on the season with a 5.19 ERA and 14 walks. He's also got a whip of 1.36. The Royals are winning just 35% of their ball games when catching plus money, and they lost 5 out of their last 6 at home. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Singer's last 4 starts did stay under the posted number. Just 8 total runs of support in those unders, by the way. The Royals also saw 65% of their games at home stay under the number as well. Meanwhile, the White Sox on the other side of things saw their last 2 Dunning starts stay under the total themselves. Give me the White Sox winning this one outright and the under 9 runs in that contest. All right, next matchup. I wanted to do the Yankees-O's, but there was not a confirmed starter there. But anyway, Cardinals-Cubs, 8:15 p.m. East. Cubs are minus 140, totals 8 runs. Cardinals are plus $120 for an upset win. We got Jack Flaherty for the Cards, Yu Darvish for the Cubs. But as good as Darvish has been, and he's been awesome, the Cubs have been winners of just 4 out of their last 9, including a loss to Pittsburgh. And they're cashing in on the run line in just 44% of their home games. The Cubs are in the top 3 in most strikeouts at the plate, bottom 10 in hits on average per game. They've dropped 6 out of their last 7 hosting the Cardinals at Wrigley, and they average less than 4 runs per contest on their home field. They're taking on a Cardinals team who's got Jack Flaherty on the bump here today, 2-0 on the season, 1.93 ERA for Jack. He gave up just 1 run in 5 innings against Cleveland on Saturday. He struck out 17 batters in just over 18 innings of work, and he's got a whip of just .80. The Cards have won 3 out of their last 4, and they scored 33 runs during that stretch. The Cards are in the top 5 in fewest runs allowed per contest, top 3 in fewest hits allowed per game. Paul Goldschmidt leads the club in hits, batting average, and on-base percentage. He's currently hitting .337, which ranks 7th in all of Major League Baseball. He's also got an OBP of .478. That is unbelievable. Third baseman Brad Miller's also jacked 5 home runs and knocked in 19. The Cardinals are in the top 3 in hits allowed per contest on the road, top 3 in road strikeouts. Now, total-wise, 6 out of the Cardinals' last 11 road games stayed under the total. Meanwhile, for the Cubs on the other side, 4 out of Yu Darvish's last 5 starts stayed under the posted numeral. Give me the St. Louis Cardinals, another underdog. Give me the St. Louis Cardinals plus 1.5 in the under 8 runs in that contest. Next matchup, Astros versus the Angels, 9:10 p.m. Eastern start time at Angel Stadium of Anaheim. The Stros are the $1.10 favorite on the road here. Totals 8.5 runs. The Angels are the slight minus 105 underdogs on the money line here. And if you like the Angels to get the job done, they have Dylan Bundy on the bump for him here tonight. Lance McCullers for the Astros. And as good as Houston has been against the Angels, they've been absolutely dominant against Los Angeles. But McCullers walked 13 batters on the season, and he's got an ERA of .506. Houston ranks in the top 5 in the league in most walks allowed per game. They also give up the most runs per game on the road. They rank in the top 3 in that category. The Stros are winning just 35% of their games when traveling. They're taking on an Angels club who ranks in the top 3 in most offensive walks per game, top 10 in home scoring. That's not going to bode well for a Houston rotation who walks a lot of batters. Now, David Fletcher leads the team in hits and batting average. Fletch is hitting .312 with a dozen extra base hits and 16 walks. Mike Trout leads the club in homers with 13. That's tied for first in the majors. He's also knocked in 34 runs, which is tied for second in the majors as well. The Astros are in the top 3 in offensive walks at home. Excuse me. Bottom 10 in home strikeouts at the plate. Dylan Bundy's 4-2 on the season with a .247 ERA and 47 big strikeouts. The Angels have been victorious in 4 out of their last 7 ball games. Now, total-wise, Bundy's last 3 starts all got over the number. The Angels saw 75% of their home games this season get over the line as well. Meanwhile, the Astros are 6-2 to the over in their last 8 themselves. 71% of their road games also got over the total. Give me the Underdog Angels winning this one outright and the over 8.5 runs in that contest. All right, next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Padres Athletics, 9:40 p.m. East in Oakland. The A's are minus 140, totals 8. Jesus Luzardo for the A's, Zach Davies for the Pods. Davies is 5-2 on the year with a 2.61 ERA and a .90 whip. Zach's also struck out 37 batters in just over 41 innings pitched. The Padres have won 3 out of their last 4, scoring 30 total runs in those 3 victories. San Diego's in the top 3 in run production per contest, top 10 in hits. Fernando Tatis Jr. is batting .305 with 13 homers and 34 runs batted in. He's tied for first in the bigs in homers and second in runs batted in. Tatis also has an OBP just 8 points shy of 400. Manny Machado is also hitting .298 with 11 homers and 32 ribbies. The Padres are cashing in 60% of their games when catching plus money. They're also in the top 3 in road scoring, top 10 in road hits. They're taking on an Oakland squad who's on a 2-game losing streak while also dropping 4 out of their last 7. The A's are in the bottom 5 in the league in hits on average per contest, top 3 in most strikeouts per game. This Oakland pitching staff also finds itself in the bottom 10 in the league in home strikeouts. Now, total-wise, Luzardo's last 2 starts both stayed under the number. Nearly 60% of Oakland's home games stayed under the number as well. Give me the Underdog Padres plus 1.5 and the under 8 runs in that contest. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you guys decide to get a package here today, just keep in mind we'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Friday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.